That was a joke.
Or maybe they should have gone to Amazon and buy some testicles online. Instead of just saying, sure, I'll just show you the phone records of a sitting United States senator on the basis of an administrative subpoena.
The unauthorized seizure of sensitive communication data belonging to high-ranking officials represents a significant breach of institutional norms and personal privacy. When the personal phone records of 8 sitting senators are obtained without a standard warrant, it signals a troubling shift in the application of investigative power. This departure from rigorous legal protections typically afforded to the legislative process is alarming.
What happens next will leave you speechless. The real fireworks are about to explode, and it's going to get ugly.
Justice Department. But the American people spoke loud and clear when they overwhelmingly elected him. The two-tier system of justice is over.
Senator Kennedy.
Me?
Yes.
General, welcome. Let's suppose that I'm appointed special counsel at the Department of Justice. And I go to the telecommunication companies, the phone companies. Let's single out AT&T, and I say, look, I know you're busy, but I want to see a copy of the phone records of a sitting United States senator. They're not going to just give them to me, are they?
No, Senator, of course not.
In fact, they're probably going to ask me what planet I just parachuted in from, aren't they?
Yes, Senator.
They're going to tell me to come back with a subpoena, aren't they?
Yes, Senator.
Okay. What do I have to show in that subpoena to get those phone records of a sitting? Did I mention it was a sitting United States senator? I can't remember. What do I have to show to get the phone records of a sitting United States senator?
Yes, Senator, there were actually 8 sitting United States senators.
Yeah, I heard that.
And you would have to have cause.
I'm sorry, what do I have to show?
You would have to have cause to get the
Good
subpoena.
cause or probable cause?
Probable cause.
Okay. Probable cause, or if it's a subpoena, deuces take them, good cause, to show what?
You would need good cause for a subpoena ducis tecum, and what you would have to show is that you believed a crime had been committed, or there was a possibility of a crime, or that could lead to other crimes. We frequently, in criminal enterprises, subpoena cell phones.
By the sitting United States senator?
Senator, they would have to have believed you were part of a criminal conspiracy, is my understanding.
Would a judge have to sign off on it? On the subpoena?
Yes, Senator. Well, for a subpoena ducis tecum, Jack Smith probably took it straight to the judge.
Now, the phone companies, particularly their general counsel, if they're worried about civil liability, even with a subpoena to get the phone records of a sitting United States senator. Did I mention it was a sitting United States senator?
Yes, Senator.
The general counsel for that phone company, let's say AT&T, they have the right to seek to quash that subpoena, don't they?
Phone companies frequently do that.
Yeah. And a smart general counsel for that phone company is going to call the sitting United States senator and say, would you like to weigh in on this? Would you like me to quash the subpoena? We're talking about invading someone's privacy here by a sitting United States senator. Could the general counsel for the phone company do that?
Well, Senator, if they believe that a crime could have been committed, they could not tip off the person who committed the crime Again, I can't comment on details of this
Yeah, I'm not
particular
asking,
case.
I'm just asking you theoretically.
I've never seen you commit a crime, Senator
But
Kennedy.
let's suppose, okay, they didn't want to tip off the sitting United States senator. But the phone company and the general counsel for the phone company, or companies, if there were more than one involved, could say, you know, this is serious as an aneurysm. This is serious as 4 heart attacks and a stroke. This is a sitting United States senator. So general counsel would likely advise the CEO, well, you need to file a motion to quash. The telephone companies could have contested those subpoenas, could they not?
Hypothetically, yes, I can't talk about the facts of this
Understand.
particular.
In recent testimony, the dialogue centered on mechanisms used by the Department of Justice to bypass traditional judicial oversight. The use of administrative subpoenas to collect private data from telecommunications giants highlights a systemic vulnerability. Typically, obtaining such records requires a demonstration of probable cause before a neutral judge. However, it appears these protections were either bypassed or ignored by corporate entities. The role of major telecommunications companies is pivotal in these instances. These corporations possess the legal standing to file motions to quash subpoenas that appear overly broad or lack sufficient legal grounding. By failing to challenge these requests, they effectively facilitated an unprecedented level of surveillance. This lack of resistance raises questions about whether political pressure has compromised the commitment to safeguards. Furthermore, the testimony revealed a persistent lack of transparency regarding who authorized these actions. When officials repeatedly declined to discuss the specifics of investigations, it creates a vacuum of accountability. If the leadership of the nation's primary law enforcement agencies can remain unaware of the surveillance of elected legislators, the internal controls designed to prevent the weaponization of the system have failed. The implications of these actions extend far beyond the specific individuals targeted. If the privacy of a United States senator can be discarded with such ease, it suggests that the average citizen stands little chance against similar encroachments. The principle of equal justice is undermined when tools of criminal investigation are used without transparency. This creates a chilling effect on the independence of the legislative branch. As the inquiry expands into other areas of administrative conduct, the pattern of selective disclosure remains a primary concern. The refusal to engage with the factual basis of these seizures under the guise of procedural secrecy only serves to deepen public skepticism. A government that operates in the shadows risks losing the trust that is essential for its legitimacy. The pursuit of justice must be conducted in the light of day. Ultimately, the preservation of liberty depends on the courage of institutions to stand against unchecked authority. When legal safeguards are treated as mere obstacles, the foundation of a constitutional republic is weakened. We must demand a return to a system where the burden of proof rests heavily on the state and where privacy is guarded. Only through rigorous oversight can we ensure that state powers are used for the protection of freedom.